margins they are being told to give to their customers simply don't exist. You know, in a real world, or, you know, your area is going to fluctuate. Let's be honest, if I'm going into the centre of London, it's going to fluctuate massively than if I'm in a tiny village in Wales.
Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. And we've got another sofa show with Chantel and Lydia from Balloon Occasions. Hello.
Hi, Greg.
Again.
Hi.
You're looking like marshmallows.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that TikTok trend?
No.
One marshmallow. I'll show you later. Welcome. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right. Got my Haribo, bowl of Haribo. We're going to have M&Ms, blue M&Ms.
Oh.
But because it's, you know,
Controversial.
I know. But you
They're my
them,
favourite.
You can get them with your logo on. Do you know that?
Really?
They are printed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, we all love the Haribos, but it'd be good to switch it up now and again.
I know, but I figure we're known for Haribo. If you want, help yourself to Haribo if you want.
It is 7 a.m, Greg.
What time zone are you in? Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming back. Let's have a chat. First of all, how's things?
Yeah, good. Always good, Greg. Always good. Good vibes only.
Well, what have you been up to? It is, what month are we in? We're in October now, at the time of filming.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to for?
The whole year,
The
because
whole
you haven't
year,
invited us back for a while.
Yeah, the invitation is always open, okay?
So, what have we done? We've been to Scotland, we've been to Ireland, we've been to Manchester.
Just talking holidays here. What,
No, this is all teaching.
Oh, I see, okay.
We've been to London.
Yeah.
Where else have we been? This is the coordinator.
Oh my God. Then we went over to LA,
Oh yeah, the American ones.
and then we did,
Just forgot those, did you?
No.
Yeah.
and then we did, where did we go in Georgia?
So we did California, Atlanta,
Atlanta and Miami.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, did you guys have the best holiday? I'm like, a holiday? Wow, that was the most intense week of our lives.
Yeah.
The class, wake up, fly, class, wake up, fly. And then we saved our last 2 days in Miami. And to be honest, we were so tired that we got to the airport 7 hours before we was due to fly, just because we couldn't be bothered to walk around.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Sounds like you had a great holiday.
Yeah.
Miami Airport is a nice one. Actually,
Yeah.
it's years since I've been there.
You
to
led
be
on the
honest.
floor and went to
I
sleep.
led on the floor, went to sleep.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I set an alarm. I could sleep
7
anywhere,
hours
mate.
sleep
I'm
she
not
got.
fussy.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
it's
get
been-
that on a normal night.
Neither do I, but I do it at an airport.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been pretty wild.
Yeah.
We are due to go back to America in 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
So we're going to New York, which is a sold out class, and then we're going to Texas, and we've got 2 classes in Texas, which are sold out as well.
So you've been doing quite a bit of teaching then?
A lot.
And quite a lot of customers as well.
Yeah.
I was going to say, but
There's just quite a lot of everything.
you're still getting out there and doing the jobs.
Yes.
And
Talk the talk and walk the walk.
Okay. And how is that side of things going?
Yeah, good. We could, like, obviously because we've got the teaching as well, we can be a bit more choosy with the customers that are now. Before we'd have like all sorts of jobs, whereas now we can be a bit more choosy, and it does mean that they are normally nicer jobs.
So what sort of things are you choosing to do for these normally nicer jobs? What's a nice job?
Love a corporate job.
Okay.
Budgets are bigger. They give you quite a lot of freedom to do whatever you want. And then the customers, like we have our like repeat customers. So we've got our nice customers that we know every single January it's Jeffrey's birthday, and every single March it's
Yeah.
little Susie's birthday.
And we
Yeah.
like a good
You know?
theme. We like a customer that commits to a theme.
Yeah.
And lets us do what we want.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
That is nice though, isn't it? Because you've got people that trust you, trust your knowledge,
Yeah.
trust your experience, and just say, do what you do.
Yeah.
Everybody's
That's
favourite
good.
kind of customer.
No one's let Lydia do a cat party yet though.
I want to do like an animal rescue party where all the kids take home their like a little soft toy that they've adopted with a little certificate, a little collar, but no one's yet. So I'm waiting for that.
Okay, are you marketing it?
No.
Well, maybe try
I'm
and-
manifesting it
We've
in my
also
head.
we do
in my
have the
head.
farmyard party, but you're missing that one.
Yeah, I'm missing that
sadly.
Oh no.
And I
It's
don't
okay.
really want to pet the farm animals.
I want to see the miniature
But
donkeys.
she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been out in the New Forest yet?
Where's that?
Where's that? Oh,
Where's the
no.
old forest?
Do
We
you
live near
do
the
you
forest.
We are right on the edge of the New Forest here. I live in the New Forest, 20 minutes.
So where's
down
the
road.
Forest of Dean? That's by us.
No, that's not by us. That's a completely different forest.
No, us.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's no donkeys there. Why? What's in the New Forest?
Well, just the New Forest ponies. They're just wandering around. You see them all over the place. You go to Bewley and they walk into the hotel.
And I think we just have boars, don't we?
Yeah, do you not like take dogs on leads down there because they kill the dogs?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, I would
Well,
love to see your ponies.
The other day, I was in the car with my daughter, and we saw pigs in the road. We
Oh,
saw
nice.
ponies. We saw cows, and we saw donkeys. Yeah.
Oh,
Just
wow.
on one journey through the forest. Anyway, enough of all of that. You've said you've been out. You've been training.
Yeah.
And you have been doing your jobs for your customers.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about the state of the industry. And what do you feel?
Gosh, that was a deep one. The
Yeah.
state of the industry.
You are. I mean, don't take the mickey out of me. Just answer the question. What is your view on the industry at the moment as a whole?
I feel like it peaked because of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and it really, really peaked. And it was never going to be sustainable to stay at that peak.
Absolutely.
So everybody's really surprised now that there's like dips and, you know, there's struggles in different places. But there was always going to be, because if something gets to the top, you've got to come back down at some
Yeah.
point. So I feel like it will just, okay, it feels like there's a bit of a struggle and a bit of a wobble now, but it will just start to come back up and even out, which was always, in my head, always going to happen, which, you know, we said to a lot of people, we'd get loads of messages when people were really, really busy, like, oh, shall I get a unit? Shall I do this? And I would say just hold fire. Don't just rush into something when you're high. You need to spend 6 months to 12 months at that high before making such huge like financial decisions or movements and that sort of thing. Because this dip was always coming. You know, we were looking at a unit to go and buy a few months ago, and I thought, I'm not going to do it because it is going to drop again. And it wouldn't have been the right time, even though actually it was incredible, wasn't it?
It was lovely.
And we really wanted it. But like the unit, it will pick back up. It's just,
You've
Also,
gotta
I
be
think it's
serious.
changing and evolving right now.
Yeah.
Like what was in, you know, during COVID, when it was a big thing, which was lots of helium again, because people were doing collection orders because of COVID, have just like, you know, they've kind of disintegrated because of the helium issues, the helium costs. It's had a massive toll on it. So like the trend's just changing, and it's, you know, it's like ebb and flows, isn't it?
and I think that for, in terms of like customer side of it, with how the industry's going, you just have to go ride the wave, and you are going to have those dips, and those that ride the wave and can like hold on to their surfboard
Yeah.
are
Nice
gonna
analogy, I like it.
yes, that's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thought of that on the spot. And then they're gonna come out the other end, whereas those who like don't do that, they will fall off. Which, you know, sometimes it is difficult to stay on, but yeah.
It's a really hard thing to do, knowing the right time to make that jump. Just talking about units, and I know there's a few people out there now that are investing in units. You know, talking to Anne Harrod the other week, she's got a lovely unit. She's very proud of it.
Yeah, incredible.
And but a lot of people see that and think, okay, I must get a unit.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's got to be for your business. But when we moved here, this was bang in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
We were completely running out of space, though, completely. So we had actually been looking for a couple of years anyway.
And it'll always be a risk. It's just you have to weigh up that risk.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously for the state of the industry in terms of like wholesale and stuff, we don't know the ins and outs of how that side of it is.
That's very similar. It's gone up over
Yeah.
COVID, like that almost. And now it's evening off, and it's just dipping a little
Yeah.
bit, and hopefully it's going to even off at
But
this level.
at least it won't go back to where it was. Do you know what I mean?
It's not going to.
It's not going to go back because it's grown as an industry. So I
Exactly.
feel like it you know, you can get everybody feeling a little bit, you know, but all in all, I think it's incredible, like how the industry's grown. We don't see it in as like a state of disrepair. We see it as like, this is always going to happen, and I think it's in a great place. It just needs to, there's things that need figuring out, but that's just
So
how it goes.
are you finding that you're still getting more people joining your B2B?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And new people coming into the industry?
Yeah, I think in terms of training, I think it's incredible. There is platforms for all different types of levels to learn from. There's in-person, there's online, it's made it accessible for so many people to give them the opportunity to start their own business or like learn and better their business, which those opportunities weren't there before.
Yeah.
So I think, in terms of, you know, for us, Balloons to Business is an incredible platform for so many people. and not just for the education side of it, when people are worrying about their stuff, for them to have that community and for them to have that space, that for me is worth all of it for those people.
I think that's what a lot of this is about as well, because I think there's nothing more scary than starting in business, being early in business, and honestly not knowing what you're doing, because that is the actual situation for everybody when they first get into business. They don't know what they're doing. If they're going into business second or third time, then fine. But when it's your first business, as it is for a lot of people in our industry, it is scary. I just remember I had massive anxiety about being VAT registered, and should I be VAT registered? Shouldn't I?
Yeah,
when
it's
do you
understanding
legally
all of
have to
that
do
stuff.
it? And it's like, does that mean we've got to start charging more? And just really trying to understand it.
We get people that say, what's if you could give any advice to like somebody just starting out, what would be,
You've
where would
stolen
you
my
start?
next question.
So, did I?
Yeah,
Sorry.
but carry on.
And what's like your thing? We always go on TikTok and they always say like, oh, I'm just starting out, like what should I do? And I'm like, your best thing to do is, one, obviously be insured, and with like Bapio or one of the organisations, and second is join some sort of online community academy, because that alone, just paying these small monthly fees, you gain so much knowledge, and then you can be like, okay, actually, yeah, I do want to learn in person with that one. I do want to try that out, or that sort of thing. It's such a community hub that you can take so much away from it. So that's like, I would never used to say that because that wasn't available for me. But now I'd say, hands down, you need to join.
It's invaluable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody, you could like join, I can only speak on behalf of our academy, is that you could join having absolutely no knowledge of the industry and walk away with a very profitable business very quickly.
Yeah.
You've got all your suppliers at your hands, you've got all those discount card like codes at your hands, you've got all these thousands of hundreds of tutorials, like covering everything from business to, you know, we've got interviews with accountants on there talking you through the process. Like, you could happily walk away and not make the mistakes that, you know, have cost the business.
You don't even need to have the brand. Like Lydia does a lot of stuff on branding. So she talks about how to like create the whole branding profile and everything like that. Now you could join without even having set up your business to then know whether to set up as a limited company, whether to go VAT registered, whether to be a sole trader. You know, we've got people that set up before they've come on and they've gone, oh, I shouldn't have gone limited. I should still be a sole trader. Or I've gone straight VAT registered and I didn't need to be. Whereas if you did that from the beginning, you've got all of that literally at your fingertips straight away.
That is, that's a really good point, because I think a lot of people think the academy style monthly subscription model is, you're just learning how to do this with balloons. You're just learning.
And that's what
this
we've
new
tried to make
design.
sure we didn't do. We knew that we wanted, you know, to offer as much as we possibly could. Like Chantel comes from a really like business related family where they've had their own businesses. I've come from like probably more creative side of things, like, and I've always been a big DIYer, so I give anything a go. Like, I love giving anything a go. And I've had businesses that I failed because I didn't have the knowledge of the business, of running a business. Realistically, what I should have done all those years was do what I was good at. Now I can speak, which was being creative, making things, being hands-on. And actually, if I had the support of how to run the business, be profitable, things like this, then I probably would have still been in a successful business. But ultimately, I wasn't, because I was not a businesswoman.
It is something that is not focused on enough in our industry. A lot of people, and you can understand why. You see everything pretty and perfect on Instagram. You just think it's all about that. But you've got to make sure the foundation is solid. You've got to understand business.
You could be the best balloon artist in the world, but if you can't run a business, your skills are literally pointless. If you can't, if you haven't got the support, like you say, or the knowledge behind to do that, then the skill is pointless.
There's a book I recommend to everybody starting out in business, or that's in the early part of their business, called The E-Myth. I don't know if I've talked to you about it before. And it's basically talking about you can be the best baker, but if you then everybody this story of talking about how he's the best baker, and people would say to him, oh, you should open your own bakery. And he did, and then he found he was doing the best baking still, and then he had all the admin of running a business on top of it, employing people and all of that. So all of a sudden, he was earning half what he was earning before because of all the work he was doing per hour. He was earning half what he was earning before per hour because he was having to do everything in the evening, running the business and all that side of things. And so it talks about how you've got to as you grow, get away from that. I'll do what you do well. So if you love doing the balloons, for instance, but you don't like doing the admin, it sounds like you've got the perfect combination here. But if you don't like doing the admin side of something, then you hire somebody to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas,
like, we're big believers you can do anything, but you can't do everything.
Yeah.
Like, your time is...
Well, I like that.
Like,
that's really good.
Thanks.
I like it. Business
is
guru.
like, spent better elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like, we know where our strengths are. Naturally, when we get into the office every day, I'll do what I've got to do. Chantal does what she needs to do. And then we'll come together and do what we've both got to do together. Like, we both have our set jobs. And I'm sure Shan would agree, if we didn't have those jobs, balloon occasions, balloons to business, we'd probably be like, oh my God, how do we handle this? Because there's so much for us to do every day.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's what people, need to know, that, you don't have to do everything. Like, take the help. We can be the help.
Even now, like, there's 100% a full-time job within balloon occasions that we are doing.
Yeah.
But it's just the dynamics of a third person. Like, that's obviously something I would choose somebody, but I would want Lydia to be as comfortable as I was with that person. So yeah, it depends. That it's there, but we're just still doing it at the minute.
That's the hardest.
They need to drive, because that was on my criteria, and I
Yes,
still
they
not
do.
take that off 2.5 years later.
Yeah. That's as you grow, that's always the hardest part, because particularly when you're small, because if it's just you on your own and then you need somebody else, you've been very lucky, relatively lucky with Lydia, but you just found that person that just fits perfectly with what it is you're trying to achieve.
And she's self-sufficient. Like, I won't blow a trumpet, but I have to a little bit. If I had to write a job list for somebody to do every day, it wouldn't work. Like, you come up with the jobs, and not come up with them, but you know what I mean. Like, you just know what's going on, whereas it's so difficult. If every day you had to come in and tell everybody what jobs to do, it just doesn't work. And that's kind of what you need as well, somebody that's going to just understand the business quite quickly and just be able to progress, because that's huge.
You're absolutely right. Just having that person that just knows naturally what to do is very good. But then when you bring a third person, like you say, the dynamic is going to change completely. And it's like, okay, well, you can start doing some of this, but you might still do it, or you might still want to do it, or you've got to figure that out. But what you need is somebody that absolutely buys into your brand and ethos and values. And if you don't get that, particularly when there's 3 people, it's far more difficult. So, but I know there's a lot of people out there that are just sole traders, just do it on their own. And some people don't want to grow, don't want to have to manage people or deal with people.
Some days I question it.
I mean, I understand, but I'm only joking. Okay, so the state of the industry, you think it is pretty good?
From a person who supplies to customers, and obviously I've got the teaching side of it, like, I think, it's fine.
I also do think, though, there has been lines blurred about natural progress of business, because people wanting to become educators. Like, they feel like the natural progression of their business now is to educate, when actually you could just be a blummin' good balloon business, and that is enough. Let that be your end goal.
It's like that influence, that they don't think they're good enough because they're not, like, influencing or something like that, when actually you're incredible at what you're doing. And I think that's tough, is that maybe people's goals are, they think that that's where they need to be, when in actual fact what they're doing is already really good. It's like the blurred lines of then people feel like they're not good enough because they're not quite an influencer. Or
I can understand that, really, because they see you guys, they see Bex, they see Anne Harrod, and they see people that, okay, we're doing the balloons. Okay, I've got to start an academy, I've got to start teaching people, I've got to start doing... You might actually not be very good at it. The teaching side of things, not everybody is
hard work.
Teacher,
It's hard work.
It is hard work.
It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of, like, it sounds silly, but the brain power that it takes.
Oh, it doesn't sound silly.
The emotional side of it is, it can be exhausting, because we have a lot of people who, and their emotions are high when, in the business, and they do have their lows and things like that. And we have to constantly put on this incredibly positive, like, persona, and, it'll be fine, and we're really, really supportive. In actual fact, sometimes I just want to wake up and I want to cry for the majority of the day, or just go into work and be like, I am in such a foul mood.
Yeah.
But we can't do that because we need to support these people that, you know, we've said that we're there for. And I think that in itself alone can be absolutely exhausting.
Yeah.
By Christmas, because we normally do shut down for 2 weeks, obviously B2B stays open, but we are literally like,
Zombies.
oh my God, the year has exhausted you from, it's nice to just sit at home and be like, oh my God, I just want to be like, meh, you know?
Well, that's the thing. I think you're absolutely right when you talk about it being mentally challenging. Training, doing filming, stuff like that, and doing what you do, you know, on B2B, it does take it out of you. I was filming last week with Keith and Dom from Qualitex. Have you met Keith and Dom?
No.
Oh.
Sounds like Dick and Dom.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And they get that a lot. And we filmed, I think, 5 shows in a day. At the end of it, I was just like, okay, you don't want to speak, you just want to.
We feel like that after an in-person class more than anything. We get in that van and there is silence. And I say to Shan, you all right? She goes, yeah, you all right? I'm like, yeah, and that is it.
And
we could be in silence.
Yeah.
There's one thing that you can't take away from it though, is when you get the message and you're like, honestly girls, like you've changed my life, or honestly, thank you so much. This method or
absolutely.
this, like that is what carries you through. So the support that we give, even though, okay, we're emotionally drained from it, the fact that they don't know that, and well, they do now, they don't know that, but we are providing that support to them is kind of what gets that then is like, right,
absolutely, that's the biggest.
I was born to be honest, I genuinely feel and I don't know if you agree, in the last few years of the teaching side of it, I feel like I was born to make other people feel good.
Yeah.
Like, even, obviously I want to feel good myself, but I was definitely born to make other people do well or like help them or something.
Yeah.
It's my calling.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, it's because we feel passionate about it.
It is. I mean,
it's fulfilling.
I've always felt that about any kind of customer experience, if it's training, but you know, when I used to be a bartender on cruise ships, did I tell you that?
Princess.
Princess Cruise, well done, you must, I used to love it. Yeah, I really got something out of serving people, whereas I think a lot of people think anything like a bartender working behind a bar in the UK is a demeaning job. I used to love it. I used to work in clubs in the UK. I absolutely love it. Making people happy. You're serving them alcohol. You're making people happy. It was great. I absolutely loved it. So I used to get that, my energy from doing that. Now I get my energy from doing this and like you, helping people and all of that. So, oh, cool. So that question then about what should people do if they are starting out in the industry. Let's talk about 2 things. What 2 things should they do?
Get insurance.
Yeah, get insurance.
And then doing B2B.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, give me. Okay, yeah. So that. Okay,
But
2 more
two
things.
more things. Okay.
Practice. So don't just go. Okay, this is 2 things. Okay, so don't just say, "Oh, I'm a balloon artist. Would you like to buy my balloons?" And you've not actually practiced it yet. Actually, like perfect what you're doing and like practice it and make it. You know, you get a good, strong first hit. And if you fail at the first time, like, you might get chances elsewhere, but it's a really good thing to go, you know, in at a good time when you're good and you've practiced. Yeah. My other thing is when you set up your social media platforms, which is a huge part of your business, do not just put a logo up and then follow all your friends and family, get them to follow you back, and then literally have nothing. I always say, make sure there's like 6, 9, 12 posts already on there before requesting to follow anybody. Because if a blank page follows me, I look on it and there's nothing on there, I'm like, I'm not going to follow them straight away. They've got nothing on there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give them.
You need a bit of substance.
You know, I want to do it. So I'd always say, like, have things in place. Don't just run before you can walk. Like, get your socials made up. If you want to do your website, get that up. Get your Facebook, get everything running, all your LinkedIn, all your profiles all around you. Start putting up your practice images before you then just jump in and say, this is where all my customers are. You've got to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to know that they spend no money, but they want their customers like this. It doesn't work like that. You need to have spent some money, get your training, get your practice in, get going, do
Get your content.
content, balloon displays in your parents' garden, in your garden, your house, all of these different places, get all of that together and then go, right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And it's because people want to make the quick money straight away, and that's not necessarily going to be the most successful way of doing it.
Absolutely. You've got to.
So that was like 1, 2, 3, 5 different
That
things
was a
all
whole
in
bunch of things. That
one
was
paragraph.
Amazing. That was amazing. But no, you're absolutely right. I think it is important to get your brand out there
Yeah.
before you start getting your brand out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I know a lot of people don't even like to buy a bag of balloons to practice with because they
No.
consider it a waste.
No, to be honest, that was me. My
Was
mum
it?
made me cry at the beginning because she told me to buy a bag of balloons to practice, and I was like, no, because nobody's buying them. And then she was like, no, you need to. And then I'd be like, okay. So I bought one, then I'd use like 20 balloons to try and make a balloon garland out of it. And she'd be like, just use the whole bag, Shan. And then I'd be like, yeah, but it's a waste of money. Whereas now,
clearly it's worked.
it's okay.
Yeah.
But
Well,
she was she was definitely a driving force.
Yeah.
Because she'd been in business before, so she's like, you've got to do this, like you need to just go for it. So I did have that, and which is what you said, like Lyd didn't have that business background, whereas when I've got my mum being like, go on, Shan, like
Yeah.
it's easier.
The knowledge.
She knew what I needed to do. She knew nothing about balloons, but she knew where I needed to go business wise of how
Yeah.
to then
Yeah.
do it.
No, you've got to. I look at it more as a marketing cost. If you've got to use stock to practice, that's marketing, because then you're going to use that for marketing.
Yeah.
But you can get instantly. You can get traffic to your website instantly with pay-per-click,
Yeah.
with Google, with Facebook.
And if there's nothing on there, then you've lost them.
Yeah,
You've not been
absolutely.
able to grasp them, and that's the problem. Is don't put it out there until you've got that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, pricing. Let's talk about pricing.
Mm-hmm.
I like to talk about this at the moment because there's a lot of people that don't do it properly.
Yeah.
And you obviously teach pricing, talk to people on B2B.
We price.
Sorry?
We price.
You price?
And also, we'd like to say as well, balloon occasions was a very profitable business before balloons to business even
Yeah.
existed.
Yeah.
So Jan knows how to run a balloon business
And that's a
and make money.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because you did it, was it 2 years before you even started?
No, 3.
3 years.
Lyd's been with me for 2, and the business is nearly 6 years old. So,
Okay.
and we're still doing
So
that
3
now.
years, you were out there on the coalface, building balloon, just doing it.
Yeah. So I started off with all of the number stacks, deco bubbles, stuff inside the bobos and aquas, all of that sort of stuff. That's how I originally started. Did that for maybe up to around 12 months, made some terrible balloon garlands to begin with. Carried on practicing with that because I was not good at making a balloon garland at all. And now it's totally opposite. Like I'm okay, I'm still can do the stacks and stuff, but I've definitely lost my confidence in that area. I'm not as quick at making them as I am now. I could do a garland with my eyes closed. So it's funny how it shifted. But yeah, so then I was doing garlands from like my second year, and then that's just gone in. But I didn't actually stop doing. We still teach number stacks and all of the small stuff on B2B, but I don't sell them to the public now just because something had to give.
Yeah.
So I would say I only stopped year 4. I stopped doing the small stuff. It's only been a year since I stopped doing the small stuff.
So going back to what you were saying earlier on about how people seem to think the natural progress is do balloons for a little while and then start teaching it.
Yeah.
Do you think people are going down that route too quickly? Do you think that because they see that happening, they think that's what you have to do?
I think a lot of people seem to have forgot, like I was trying to say, like they can own a profitable balloon business without having to teach.
Yeah.
And I think they think sometimes they probably see these academies that unfortunately no longer offer to the public, which is fine because they want to, drive their driving forces, the academy, which is great. But ultimately, then their members are probably thinking, well, why is she doing this academy if her balloon business was so profitable?
Yeah.
Whereas we know that balloon occasions could definitely still stand its ground, cover the cost of the bills, and still be a profitable balloon business if the academy went tomorrow. So,
and I want them to know that. I want them to see that it is profitable. That's why we haven't given up, because we get asked all the time, why are you still doing balloons? I'm like, because we want everybody to one, we want to stay up with trends and like you say, with pricing, when you get onto that, like it helps us. When the prices of balloons go up, we know that our prices, we can go with the flow when it comes to that. But also it just shows that to them, it doesn't actually matter if I'm earning money from the educating, because I'm showing you that actually there's still an entire profitable business that could run solely off just the balloons.
And also, as much as we love to think that clients or customers have the budgets that some are, some get plucked out of, a lot of the time they're being priced out of their jobs because the profits they are, or the margins they are being told to give to their customers simply don't exist. In a real world, or, your area is going to fluctuate. Let's be honest, if I'm going into the centre of London, it's going to fluctuate massively than if I'm in a tiny village in Wales. That's how you've got to see it. And I think a lot of people seem to struggle with the idea of pricing having to fluctuate because of that. Overheads is a massive thing. Chantel's got 2, we're both employed by Balloon Occasions, plus the unit, plus the van, plus everything else. Like, our overheads are probably so much higher than somebody that's able to work out of their spare bedroom and, they just do it as a side hobby and they don't want to take as much. And that is okay.
Yeah, I'm never mad. Like, even in our area, I'm never mad if someone's cheaper than me.
No.
Because that customer was never going to be my customer anyway, because they were never going to be able to pay.
That's how I've always looked at it as well. But pricing is one of those things, particularly with Facebook groups and things like that. People are like, oh, what do you charge for this? And then there's no context, You're like, what do you charge for this? £15, £20, £40.
Yeah. Also, which bit are you charging? Are you charging for the backdrops? Are you charging for the balloons? Are you charging for, have you had to go out and buy that backdrop and then repaint it? Our pricing would be different to somebody else's because we already own loads of the backdrops. They're already painted, they're already ready. Like, we have other stuff that's accessible to us, like flowers and things like that. So our pricing would be different to somebody who doesn't have the backdrop that this customer's asking for, who doesn't have the flowers and everything like that. And that's why I strongly believe and say to everybody, there is not one pricing tool that fits all.
No.
There's not, so we have a pricing tool that Lid's created that allows people to input the various different things. So you can input how many meters you're doing and what you want to charge per meter. We advise what we do. Then you've got, if you're adding flowers, like how much you're adding in there. There's different elements to it, which then calculates your cost, because everybody's going to be slightly different.
Yeah.
And I think people are so offended when somebody's cheaper than them, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to be so there's so much anger towards these people that are cheaper. And you know what? Sometimes they're cheaper because they've got bills to pay. I'm so sorry. But if you're saying to somebody that, that number stack that you usually charge £80 for, but Sandra down the road's having to charge 50 because this month that's what she's got to make, to pay that electricity bill, then you blooming make it for 50 quid, Sandra. I'm sorry. But I think it's a
You don't know what circumstances people are living in.
Exactly.
And if somebody said to me, I say we had kids and things like that, and they said, oh, if you don't make that amount of money, then your kid's not going to be able to go on that school trip. I'd be like, well, I'm going to do it for that then.
Yeah.
And that's why we always say, don't be so offended what other people are charging, or don't be so et up about it, because you don't know what those people and their lifestyles or anything. And it affects the industry when people are undercharging. But we're in times where people are going to be struggling for money financially, and you can't blame somebody for wanting to help their family on their houses.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's an important consideration. But also, you've got to consider yourself. How do you consider your brand? Are you the Waitrose, or are you the Lidl?
And that's the thing, is not every client is your customer, and that's okay. Like, if you do not want to offer setups for under £500 and you want to be the creme de la creme, that's absolutely fine. But, we can't be so hurt about, somebody else who offers the £150 garland and does 8 a week. There's really not much to be.
I would say
about.
We're very averagely.
I
wouldn't say people think we're going to be more expensive, so they don't even approach us because they think, God, they're going to be way too much. I'm like, no, we're still. I wouldn't say we are a luxury brand. I've never put myself out there and said we're luxury. We're bright pink, we're orange, we're yellow, we're fun. I drive around with a bright pink van. We're never the luxury brand, but we are the high end of a like a fun brand basically, and that's how I've always wanted to be. So no, we're not charging £1,000 for the balloon garland, but we might be charging 750 that someone else would charge 500 for.
Yeah.
So we're like in between.
Yeah, I mean.
Also, we can't turn up in Crocs and socks like this as a luxury brand.
Yeah. And but then that's part of it. That's part of it. What, you've got things on your Crocs? Oh, you got balloon pearl?
We will, Greg. We've got lots of goods to show you today.
Oh dear.
Don't zoom in because they are filthy.
so dirty.
Oh. Anyway.
These are worker shoes.
Yes, I mean mine are filthy. I forgot I was filming this morning when I put these ones on. They need a good clean.
I know. I was thinking, what is that?
Yeah, I know. I don't know where I got that. But,
dye or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But
It's okay.
I apologise. Anyway, do not zoom in on my shoes. You're not the luxury brand, but you're a fun brand, and people feel comfortable communicating with you, getting in touch with you, and all of that, and that's important. But I think the pricing thing, we've got a pricing tool as well, and I created that because it was quite hard. After 12 years of business, I still struggled to understand the whole thing and how to work out the price, because perfectly honestly, I didn't really do that properly for 12 years. I didn't look. I mean, it's a bit different for us as wholesalers now. We just rely on the discount we get from manufacturers, so we don't have the flexibility to be able to charge for the service, if you like. But when you do, I think you do it properly. And why would Sandra be charging 50 quid if she could actually get 80 quid as well? And if everybody was charging around that amount, then...
And is it comparable? You know, we get sent,
exactly
like we've just charged 750 for this garland, and then the customer goes to me, but old Sandra, she can do it for 350. And I'm like, oh, have you got a picture of what Sandra's offering you? And she sends it me, and I'm like, well, no wonder she can do it for 350.
That's why it's 350.
And I'll say, I'll reply, and you can be polite, and you can just say, that isn't comparable, which is why our prices are so different. And they say, okay, well, what can we get? And I said, but you're two totally different things. Our balloons are actually joined together, and there's no gaps and
glue dots,
you know, whereas that one is eggs and glue dots and whatever else. So, you know, it's not, if you can't see the difference, then absolutely go for that one that's 350.
Yeah.
Because you're not bothered about what we're creating.
And that, once again, is why they're not your customer.
Yeah, exactly. And if they're your type of customer, they will be your customer.
Yeah.
And if they're not, and they're hammering you down on price, then they're not.
Yeah.
And we're happy to turn away customers. If we get a job, if there's a job inquiry that comes in that, you know, we don't necessarily want, or we think, you know, this isn't the right one for us, we're happy to say, sorry, not today. No, we don't use, oh, sorry.
I'll try and persuade them to do something properly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If it's not what if I'm like, oh God, guys, and they're not leaning towards letting us actually help them, then I'll just say, oh, it's not, I'm fully booked, sorry.
Yeah.
I've always found it interesting when you give a quote and people come to you and say, oh, I can get it from Sandra down the road for 100 quid cheaper.
Sandra.
I know, I'm really sorry, Sandra.
But then my question is always, well, why have you not gone to Sandra then?
Yeah.
If
Because
that's what's important
they want
to you.
they want you.
Exactly. But if they've come back to you and said Sandra can do it for £100 cheaper, but I don't want to go with her, well, you obviously want to go with me.
Yeah.
Why do you want to go with me? Oh, because you're really good and professional, and I know I can trust you and all of that. It's what they don't say, but what they're thinking.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pay for that. Well, you've got to pay for that.
Yeah.
Because that's what you get.
Do you know what I love?
Tell me.
I love it. Is when they go with Sandra, right? And I know that they've gone with Sandra because I'm like, they didn't go with me.
Can we just point out if there's anybody,
no,
there's a balloon decorator
we
called
know
Sandra.
a good nice Sandra. We know a really nice Sandra
Okay.
as well. So
One
sorry.
of our mates. Sorry, Sandra.
Yeah. So they've gone with the other people, and then they message me 3 days before their event, and they go, "Hi, have you still got availability? Because I've been let down." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry. Who was it that let you down?" Just because I've had so many messages today saying that they've been let down too, and I haven't. But then they're like, "Oh, they tell me who it is," and I'm like, "Ah, okay."
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Sandra.
Yeah.
Sandra.
Don't go with Sandra, people. Don't go with Sandra. I'm going to come back to your Crocs and these bits on them. What are these bits? Why have you got these bits?
Okay.
Where are they just for you? Do you sell those? What are they?
Okay.
Because they're very balloon related, aren't they?
Yeah. So basically,
No, That camera over there. That camera.
This is the croc
Can you
charm.
please bend you're still looking at yourself. This is my croc.
So basically, these are the socks, right? So these are
Okay.
called Balloon Boss socks. They've got balloon dogs all over them. Yes, you can buy them on our website.
They say balloon occasions on them.
No, they
No,
say
Balloon
Balloon
Boss.
Boss.
Oh, balloon boss.
Yeah, don't worry.
okay.
You don't have to walk around with our name on.
Okay.
You are your own Balloon Boss. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have our Crocs, and we have various different charms. These basically this is like an Anne Harrods shoe actually, because it's all purple.
Yeah.
So she needs to buy them. And then we've got we've got the pink pump. After all the pink pump drama that happened on Instagram, we had to get one of these made.
What pink pump drama?
Oh,
that's really hard to say, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pink pump
Pink
drama.
pump.
But you
drama.
couldn't be a professional artist unless you had a expensive balloon pump.
Oh right.
It went.
I love
it
your
went
pumps,
big.
by the way.
Do
Look
you?
at no.
Yeah. No. They're not.
But
even,
they still work for you.
yeah. So yeah, pink pump. Love that. And then we'd probably get done for like copyright or something if we had a premium comment on there.
Yeah.
It'd be cute though. Then you got the Balloon Boss, Balloon Dog. Got loads of stuff.
We've
That
got
was a little hand pump.
pumps.
So-
We've got loads.
So you've had these made.
Yeah.
We design them, then they've been manufactured for us.
So with these things, can you get things like that for Crocs?
No.
Not balloon. There is no balloon
No, I mean
stuff.
other things
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So they did
Gibbets,
exist.
they're called. Or if you're me, I was going around for years like, oh, do you like my jizz bits? Turns out they weren't called that, they were called gibbets.
Oh,
But other than that,
Lydia.
we have socks,
Lydia.
we have
Scrunchies. Look at my little hair scrunchie.
Oh, you've got yeah, it's got a balloon.
My
on
hair
it.
is due a wash. I'm sorry, Greg. You weren't that. But I need to
Okay.
I was just trying to drag it
We've
out a little
got-
bit longer for the week. But
It-
hair
it-
scrunchie.
We've got Balloon Boss notepads, hardback notebooks, we've got desk planners, and also our favourite is a sketch pad, which has got like a section for you to draw on, and then the others, which is your extras and your colours. Love it.
And coming soon.
I'm off in the full pitch here.
Yeah, you
Go
are.
on.
We're like Dragon's Den. Woo!
Coming soon is because everybody, for some wild reason, not everybody loves Crocs. On your shoe here, like say you wear in trainers, we've got
Clean
clips,
trainers.
and then you have these, but you wear them on your clips and your laces. So we've got like Air Forces that you can wear. You've got your little, what are those shoes that you wear? The comfy ones that help your feet.
My New Balances.
New Balances, yeah.
Helps my feet. They're just trainers, I'd like to say.
Apparently
We're
an
talking about
on-vogue
Skechers
trend.
here.
Yeah,
What's wrong with Skechers?
Oh, nothing. Sorry. I love pair of Skechers, but I was banned after having knee surgery. Not allowed to wear them then.
Oh, really?
No. Naughty.
so we've got them, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to be, this can clip on to the front of your trainer instead of your Crocs.
Okay.
Okay.
I get it.
Then what else have we got? We've got some patches being made. There you go.
Why have you started doing these?
Because it's incredible. No one's doing it. We just wanted to bring some fun to everybody.
So just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun.
Don't
Good
you love
crack.
them?
Okay. Yeah, I love them. I love them. I wish I had a pair of Crocs.
I know.
No, cut that out.
We're actually, the balloon socks, there's not many left, so we're actually getting a whole new set. So by the time this airs, we will have a whole
We'll
new...
have no stock issues like Balloon Market.
Hey, it's not us. It's those manufacturers. It's not us. We've got it. Our systems work, man.
But yeah,
Right.
so there we go.
Yeah.
All the merch.
Very
All
good.
the gear and the idea if you come to Balloons to Business.
Okay.
Woo!
They're very nice. I might start selling them myself.
Oh yeah, you can if you want.
Yeah.
Not, you can't manufacture your own. You can buy them
if I
off
want.
us. No, because
can
then
if
you.
I want.
No, you can't.
You
have
haven't
it,
even got
not
any
these.
Crocs, Greg.
have
Honestly,
one.
don't
Not
start.
these ones. No.
Stop me.
This.
Not buying from you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't make this. Look, it belongs to us.
Okay. All right. Well,
We invented the balloon
did you
dog,
copy
didn't
the
we?
idea from our balloon dog air fresheners that we've got on the tree
No,
there?
I can't
Is that
believe
where you
that.
got your
That's the first time
No,
I've
but
seen
we
them
could
today.
make a balloon boss air freshener. To be fair.
You could, well,
Yeah,
sue
we
you.
could.
But that's a good one. Should we add?
See ya.
Oh, you can't have one now.
Yeah. Well, I'll buy them through you.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan. So, okay. Well.
We'll even choose our own scent, Greg. Don't worry about it, mate.
Oh dear. Right. Let's not be like that. Let's be nice.
he's getting
We've got more shows to film.
They've got mozzarella dippers on the market as well, and it's Monopoly time.
What are you on about now? You've gone to McDonald's?
Yes.
Oh, you're already there in your
Yeah.
head. Anyway, what Yeah, I'm going to stop talking to you now.
Yeah.
What is the question of the week? Just ask everybody the question of the week.
So the question of the week is, if you could have any balloon merchandise, what would it be? Okay. Might even pick somebody from the comments and just send something.
Okay.
You know?
There you go.
Gosh, she's feeling nice.
Let me speak. What balloon merchandise would you have?
Sorry, did I not say it clear enough?
Yeah, I know. Why have you got to
Oh,
reiterate
look
that?
at this. Enter the show. The abuse begins. Because you've got to put it on the screen at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And quite
Oh,
often...
yeah, sorry. You can only do it when Greg says it. Yeah, sorry, let's restart.
Will you speak? Right, you buy your own McDonald's, for goodness sake. All right. Leave your comments down below on Facebook and YouTube.
Start again, Greg. Go
Thank
again.
you two. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you've not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. You'll be notified every time we upload a new show. Stay happy, stay positive. From all of us here. See you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.
You two a nightmare. What on earth?